FaceTime Boxers. We're back in the cut. Myself, Aaron the Marksman Morgan. Today, I've got one of the hottest prospects coming out of Bristol boxing in many years. My bro, I'm going to let you introduce yourself, your name, your fighter status, and where you're from.
Your boy, Fyn Ray Collins. I'm out of Bristol, just turning professional, looking to make the debut in October. Check me out, man.
Love that, love that. Right, my bro, first things first, I'm going to ask you, why turn pro now? Why now? What made you think it's the right time now?
I feel like at this current point of time, I was kind of boxing everyone. I've kind of boxed everyone on the circuit I was in the alliance, and I want to stay loyal to my club. So I thought, you know what, if I can go pro with them, God willing, we keep pushing forward. Sort of the next stage in my career. And I feel like I was ready. Like I've been ready for a while. People have been telling me to turn pro for ages, but I thought, I've had 26 amateur fights. I was winning a lot of titles in the alliance.
Yeah.
I was sparring pros regularly and, having good work with them, good spars with them. So I thought, I'm at the point now where I thought, I want a bit of a step up. Let's take it to the next level.
Yeah, man, give it a go. Give it a go. So I heard you saying you're staying loyal to your amateur club. Are you still heavily involved with your amateur club, with your coaches and things like that?
Yeah, 100%. I'm one of the coaches at my gym. So,
wicked.
I help with all the head coaches. I teach the beginners class. I'm always in the gym. So yeah, it's one of them ones. I'm always going to be somewhat rooted in the club, no matter
I
what.
love that, man. I love that. And you doing something like that, all these young kids that are coming through the gym, they're going to look up to you and think one day I want to get where he is. And you're going to be an inspiration to them kids, man. I love that. I love that. My bro, what surprised you the most so far about the transition between amateur and pro?
To be fair, I can't really comment on that too much as it's only at the beginner stages. I mean, again, I would say there are certain things that are different. However, I haven't had the chance to experience them yet, as we're still in the beginner stages. But I feel like the transition for me is kind of like I'd have to change my style a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like as a pro, obviously you got to sit down in your punches more, not bouncing around as much. You got to slow down the pace. So it's just getting used to that instead of that amateur sort of sprint.
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of style.
100%.
You know
100%.
that's the only major thing. Again, obviously, I haven't really had that much experience as a pro at all, really. So we'll see.
Definitely. Definitely. I get what you mean. There's definitely a transition between the styles. And you hear a lot of people say, oh, I've got a pro style in the amateurs. And I mean, me, myself personally, I came up in the amateur system where it was the head guard and the computer scoring system. So it was like, someone's winning a fight 24 to 15 and things like that. So when you turn pro, there's definitely a transition period where you need to slow yourself down, make your steps a lot more intentional so you're not bouncing around too much. And ultimately in pro boxing, you're hitting to hurt. So you need to make sure when you actually hit people that you're actually hurting them and trying to get them out of there. So I agree with you. There's 100% a transition that needs to take place. In terms of your training, how's your training different now between when you're preparing for amateur fights and obviously you haven't got your debut locked in yet, but when you do have it locked in, I'm assuming you're training for it now. So how's your training differ?
I mean, again, it's more or less me telling myself look, you've got to slow it down. Try not to be so erratic with your footwork. Don't be, running around the ring. Because before I was kind of like a back foot kind of mover.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to transition to be a bit more on the front foot, kind of cut the ring off, walk people down, longer runs. Obviously you still got to do some form of interval sprints to help you maintain those bursts and stuff. But I feel like I'm trying to build a strong aerobic base so that I can sort of carry on through the round.
Yeah, 100%, man. You sound like you're ticking all the boxes as it's going already. You sound like you've got your plan in place, especially for your training, and you're on the right path. Bro, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned through boxing so far? This is not so much your pro career. This is from when you walked into the gym the first day, the biggest lesson you've learned.
There's a couple, but it's definitely to sort of respect people. To have respect for people and to never underestimate anyone.
Yeah, that is a massive, massive one, and a lot of people have fallen short or tripped over hurdles where they've underestimated people, should I say, and looked
Yeah,
past them.
underestimate someone. Yeah, that's it.
That's
My
it.
bad.
Yeah,
Sorry.
underestimated people and looked past them. Sort of piggybacking on that point, yeah, we know a lot of mistakes that fighters make, whether it's inside the ring, more so outside the ring. What's a mistake that you hope that you don't make during your pro career?
Not getting lost in the sauce, man. I mean, it's when you're getting a lot of attention, whether that's from the media, other fighters, external sources, should I say, it's easy to let your head balloon.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, yeah, just trying to stay humble with it. Obviously, like you gotta sell yourself. Pro boxing is a business before it's a sport at the end of the day. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, just not getting lost in the sauce. Just remember where you came from and what the goal is.
Yeah, man.
Just not getting distracted.
I love that, man. I'm so glad that you said pro boxing is a business straight away. You're turning pro, you're making your debut, but you already realized that pro boxing is a business. So just from you saying that one comment, you might be 10, 20 steps ahead of other guys that are turning pro at the same time, not knowing what you know already. So that's brilliant. And I've been putting out a few videos lately trying to educate people on some of the realities of pro boxing from the business side. So I'm so glad that someone that's turning pro already knows that. That's made me happy, man. That's
I've
made
been
me happy.
watching your content, bro. Trust me, you've
Yeah,
been
no,
helping me out.
that's made me happy, man. My bro, give me one fighter that you'd fight for free. No money. You just put hands on them. It could be someone you don't like. It could be someone in history. It could be someone that you're looking at that's turning pro at the same time, and you're thinking, you know what? Further down the line, I want to get it on with you.
Bro, you know what? See me, I'm not into the trash talk, bro. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone.
Nah,
I
not even so.
generally could.
Like, not even like you know what? I want to share the ring with Floyd Mayweather because I want to see just how good he is and things like that. Or you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right.
Must be someone.
When you say it like that, I mean, it would have to be in his prime. It would have to be Sugar Ray Leonard, man, because he's my favorite fighter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I would have loved to have like experienced sort of like the hand speed, or matter of fact, I'll change that. Roberto Duran,
ooh,
because I know he's a
ooh,
very intelligent fighter. People will sit there and go, "Oh yeah, but he was relentless." No, he was a very intelligent fighter. He knew how to fight on the inside. He had very subtle defensive tricks, and I would love to have seen that and potentially learn off him up close.
100%, 100%. That might be a very very painful lesson, but it'll be a good
Yeah,
lesson. It'll be a good lesson, but a painful
yeah.
one.
Might regret saying that later on,
Yeah,
but
100%, man. So this is going to be more towards your amateur career and your sparring, because I know you've been in the gym with a lot of pros. What's the hardest you've ever been hit? There must be one time that sticks in your head.
oh, bro, every time I spar Logan Dorton, man.
Oh, oh, hard shots, heavy
Yeah,
shots.
yeah, he's 8-0 with 5 knockouts, but even the fights that he didn't knock him out, like his opponents knew about it for sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I heard it's
bro,
heavy.
this guy's an animal. Like he's one of my main sparring partners, and in Call of Duty,
Yeah, yeah.
when you get hit with a flashbang
The
grenade.
flashbang.
Yeah, that's what it's
Yeah,
like.
it's the flashbang. Yeah,
I'm like,
we know about that.
oh, get away from me, man. I used to hate sparring this guy. I still do now.
Yeah, man. Like that name, I've heard that name about a few times. That he's a very hard puncher. So
Yeah,
yeah, man, it's a good sparring partner for you, prepping for your pro debut. Um,
100%.
bro, there must be one time, yeah, one time in the corner, instruction from a coach that you'll never ever forget. It could be a funny instruction, it could be a good instruction, it could be one of them instructions where you heard it and you're thinking, well, what is he talking about? There must be one time you'll never ever forget.
Um, to be fair, there is a funny one. So I was boxing, a lad. I can't remember. I think it was in London. And my coach just said, you see his nose?
Yeah,
Turn it the other way." I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, okay, coach, I got
That's
you.
it.
He said, yeah, turn his nose the other way.
That's it, man. That's it. Ray, I don't know. Do you have any children?
No, no. Not
So
that I
this is
know of.
gonna,
Not that I know of. No, I ain't
yeah,
got
not
any.
that you know of, not
No.
that, this is all hypothetical, yeah. So in the
Yeah.
future, um, would you want your kids to box? If so, then why? If not, then why not?
So to be fair, I wouldn't edge my kids towards a boxing career as such. I would
Yeah,
love them to, train and be sort of physically capable of defending themselves. I
yeah,
think that's sort of mandatory. That should be mandatory for people to know how to defend themselves. But yeah, I wouldn't really push my kids towards boxing. I feel like, the struggle that you go through as a boxer, like, the weight cuts, the sacrifices you make with your personal life, whether that's, work, social, having a girlfriend, things like that. I wouldn't really want my kids to go through what I went through. So yeah, I wouldn't push them towards a career. If they want to have a boxing career, by all means, I'll support you and
yeah,
I'll try
yeah.
and guide you and educate you on it and make sure that it goes as smoothly as possible. However, I wouldn't want to advise my kids towards boxing.
I respect that. I respect that. My bro, before we wrap it up, let us know where we can follow you. Let us know
Yeah.
when the debut might be penciled in for, and how we can keep eyes on that, and how we can get tickets once it all happens.
So listen, guys, follow me on all social media handles at Fyn Ray Collins, spelled FynRay Collins. You know, the debut should be penciled in for October the 11th, God willing. So hopefully we can get on that card in Bristol in the galleries. And yeah, just keep following my social medias. I'll be posting up. I'll be doing some cinematic style videos to promote it. I'll be training hard. Definitely be a good performance incoming. So make sure you keep yourself posted. Yeah, man. Get me for
Love that.
tickets. It'll probably be on like physical copies of the tickets. So
Yeah, love that, man. Love that. Before we sign out, anyone that you want to shout out before we leave?
I want to shout out National Smelting Club, National Smelting Boxing Club. I've got Back to Action, D&D Shoe Repairs, Billy's Barbers. Shout out for all my sponsors. Thank you very much for everything you do for me.
Yeah, the sponsors are massive help. Massive, massive help. Massive help. Listen, my bro, we have to stay in touch. Definitely keep me penciled in when that debut comes around. I'm going to come down there. I'm going to come to support, and I'm going to see a great performance.
Wicked, bro. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Take care, my bro.